Damn, alright.
That's probably the roughest review I think I've ever read on this program.
That is brutal.
Hello Whovians, Crispy Bro here and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us. Today we have a contestant for a show called Guess the Doctor Who episode from the Bad Review. That contestant is the one, the only Tharries. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing alright, I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited, I've seen a lot of these. I always think like, oh, I'd have got that. So if I get these wrong, I'm going to feel bad now. But you know what? I'm going to try my best.
This one is called Truly the Opposite End of the Spectrum. Heaven sent to this? The casting of his new companion was nothing more than the BBC wanting to be PC. Thought, okay, give her a chance. That sentiment went out the windows in the first 5 minutes of the episodes. One can almost guarantee that many viewers will not be returning to watch this series. I turned off the episode and have zero desire to be annoyed and aggravated by an arrogant, irritating dimwit of a companion that adds nothing of value to his travels. That
is pretty brutal. So my logic is, because they went on about it being PC. So I remember back in the day, it's not that I agree with this, but there was a lot of people back in the day who were kind of annoyed at Bill because like she was like openly a lesbian and all of this sort of stuff. So I'm imagining early series 10 and it says Heaven sent to this, so that implies that series 9 was like the most recent. So I'm going to say the pilot.
You're going to lock that in?
I am going to lock that in.
You were absolutely on the money. Yeah, of course it's a pilot.
Yeah.
Of course it's a pilot. Well done. Yeah. Very, very good job.
I love Bill though. Screw that guy. Bill's great.
Let's get that out of the way first and foremost.
Yeah.
These are horrible, horrible takes. This one is called Bad Logic, Bad Script. We don't need a you can't change history rule imposed on a series which by its very nature insists that you can change history. Just traveling in time, the Doctor changes events. No, the logic is just plain bad in this one.
The Doctor fluctuates with the whole the rule thing of like, oh, sometimes we can change history, but other times, no. Like, one of my thoughts was Time Lord Victorious, because not Time Lord Victorious, Waters of Mars. That's the scene in Waters of Mars. Because I was thinking like, oh, he tries to change history in that one, but it's kind of against the rules, and time is changing so that he can't change history. Another part of me wants to say Day of the Doctor, because there's that bit there where the Doctor's like, you're not suggesting we change our own personal history, and then Smith's like, we do that all the time. I'm gonna lock in Waters of Mars. Screw it. It's probably wrong, but I'm locking it in.
Is that your final answer?
I'll lock it in. That's my final answer.
Wow. Impressive, but incorrect.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
what was
Tharries. It was Father's Day, would you believe?
Oh, you know what? That does make sense. That didn't occur to me, but that does make sense. Now you've said it, it's like, yeah, that does make sense.
I'm sorry. This one is called Confusion Reigns Supreme. Does Mr. Chibnall attempt to hide his very bad writing behind overdone CGI and by having the story, the little story that is actually there, jumping all over the place and time in an effort to hide his lack of writing talent? You bet he does. If Mr. Chibnall was to attend a Doctor Who convention, I suspect that he would need to have a police escort to get him out of the building alive.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's probably the roughest review I think I've ever read on this program.
That is brutal. The problem is, with Chibnall stories, right? I feel like a lot of the criticisms are all very similar. So it's like, it could be a lot of different episodes. I want to say, part of me thinks Power of the Doctor, because my logic is, little of a story, a critique of that story, and something I did mention in the podcast, which you should go listen to, is that, you know, maybe the story doesn't quite come together for that one, having the classic companions back. So then I'm going back to Flux, and I'm going to say Once Upon Time, the third one, because it's a lot of confusion and CGI, and I think everyone was confused by that episode at the time, so I think that makes sense. That's my logic.
You're going to lock it in?
Could be a lot of episodes, but yeah, I'm going to lock that in.
You were absolutely on the money if you said Power of the Doctor.
Damn it! Oh no!
When Chibnall was announced to go to like Gallifrey 1, I was nervous because people like this exist. Like, you know, that was say like these little internet warriors and like, but apparently he had a great time.
Yeah, apparently he's a lovely guy, so.
This one is called Moffat versus the Doctor. Who wins? My real worry is that Stephen Moffat has decided to end Doctor Who. The series should not be about the Doctor. It should be about the adventures he has traveling in time and space. Moffat has lost that, and I'm not sure how it can be regenerated. Will someone please exterminate Clara? Beside destroying the show's continuity, she is a lifeless, personality-less drone.
A lot of people were not happy back when Name of the Doctor came out, because they were like, oh, Clara's in all of the events of the Doctor's life, that kind of breaks the continuity, that breaks the canon, or whatever. And I think a lot of the criticism for Clara came from like Series 7 of like, there wasn't as much going on. I'm really confident in Name of the Doctor, but I feel like it's wrong. I feel like it's wrong, and I'm gonna be bad.
You can do it. What do you want to do?
It's the one that makes the most logical sense to me.
Do you want to lock it in?
I'll lock it in.
Right. Tharries. Oh my gosh. You are absolutely correct. Of course it's the Name of the Doctor.
I was going to say, if it wasn't, I was going to be shocked, because, like, it makes so much sense.
This one is called Dire. Oh, they spelled it wrong. Oh my god. It's supposed to be dire, truly dire, but it's spelled dire, turly dire. This easily goes down as one of the very worst episodes of new Doctor Who. Never before have so many been bored by such unmitigated dross. After his successful episode Midnight, Russell T Davies proves that he simply cannot write complex science fiction. He's great on smaller, self-contained episodes, but with anything larger scale, he fails dismally. Graham Harper's awful direction didn't help either.
Because my logic is, it's post-Midnight, right? So we're talking Series 4. It's RTD. And Graham Harper directed the Dalek two-parter, the Series 4 Dalek two-parter. And that is arguably the biggest scale that era gets. It's the biggest scale thing. I don't agree. It's unmitigated dross. I think that's an abysmal take. But I think it has to be Stolen Earth Journey's End, right? Like, that's the largest scale. Yeah, I'm going to say Stolen Earth Journey's End. Locking it in.
We've had some ups. We've had some downs.
We have.
But Tharries, I can confirm that you are very close, but you are incorrect.
Oh, I'm so confident.
Do you have any other idea? But no, it was in fact Turn Left.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the weird thing about that one is, when you said big scale, obviously Turn Left is a big story, but I wouldn't say it's big scale in the traditional sense. It's kind of subversive in that way, and very sci-fi-y.
This one's called Great, but not the best episode ever. I don't have much to say about this episode. It was a strong entry, and one of Series 3's high points, but overall it's not really pivotal to the show at all. My favourite episodes like Silence of the Library, Forest of the Dead, Heaven Sent, and Listen all have a massive impact on the show, all the characters.
I have an idea, probably completely wrong, but thinking about it logically, Silence of the Library, Forest of the Dead, Heaven Sent, both Stephen Moffat episode.
Okay.
Great, but not one of the best episodes ever. There's a very highly acclaimed episode in Series 3 that was written by Stephen Moffat, Blink, and it's more self-contained than any of those. I really hope I'm not wrong. I'm actually dreading it. I think I'm gonna lock it in. Am I wrong again? Please, Christmas.
Nah, Tharries, you're absolutely correct. Of course, it's right. Of course, you got it. That's the redemption arc we were after.
Well,
what a great video we have. I think you've done quite well for yourself, Tharries.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It was like hard. I always think, I could do it. But then I was like, on this one, it was like really hard. I was like...
All of those who don't know who Tharries is, you should go and check him out. Tharries, what are you about? Where can they find you? What's going on?
You can find me on YouTube. Just search Tharries, or on social medias, it's pretty much all at Tharries YT. So that's Twitter, Instagram.
Go and subscribe, pretty please. It's my only wish.
Thank you very much.
And that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching another installment of Guess the Doctor Who episode from the Bad Review. How did you do? Did you play along? Did you get them all right? Are you smarter than us, or did you not get any? Yeah, let us know down below. Thank you very much. And as always, please like this video. Please subscribe if you have not already, and we will see you in the next one. You want to say it?
See you later.
Allons-y, baby!
Allons-y!